I'm David. And we're talking about Big Brother. Getting down to the wire.
Almost over.
Whew. So, as we spoiled last week, Josh was the HOH going into the early eviction this week.
We had 2 evictions this week.
Yeah, it was a jam-packed week.
It really was. So they had planned he was going to be HOH so that he could take the swing at Alex.
Yeah, because Paul couldn't do it because he needs Alex's jury vote.
Oh God, for what? He get blood on his hands.
So, of course, Josh puts up Alex and Kevin as the nominees, and then they go into the veto competition, which is BB Comics.
And we had said we didn't really think Paul wanted to be in that position to make the decision on taking Alex down. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But BB Comics, he was gonna win that.
Yeah.
Alex did say afterwards, like, I walked during that. But it didn't look like she was throwing it.
And the time was close.
Yeah.
Paul beat her by like 2 minutes or less.
So I don't know if she threw that to him really, or if that's just a good excuse after the fact.
Right, she probably was trying to save face a little bit, probably legitimately trying to win the veto to pull herself off, but then she had to make it seem like, oh, Paul, you should still pull me off.
Right, I mean,
I wasn't really trying to
the
win.
reality is, even if Paul were to win, she feels safe at this point.
Absolutely.
But Paul wins the veto, and now he has to make the decision, do I keep the noms the same? Because I do need to get rid of Alex, but what do I do?
Right, so he pulls her into a side room, has a real heartfelt conversation with her about how much he loves her and she's such a cool person and he hates to have to do this to people and blah, 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 blah. And ultimately
he knows
says
that he'll lose sitting next to her in the final 2.
Right.
But he says this as if it just dawned on him.
Right, like you haven't been thinking about it the whole time.
I know we've been working together this whole time, but like I just realized that would be so dumb to take you.
You're such a good player at Big Brother.
So she's hurt.
Yeah.
She's upset.
Right.
But like she buys this, like, oh, this is smart for his gameplay. I guess he has to make this decision.
Yeah, I guess so. And but she does say to him, she's like, just so you know, if the tables were turned, I would take you no matter what.
Which is true. We knew that.
Yeah.
We knew she'd take Jason over Paul. Now it would have been Paul easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she could have beat Paul in a vote.
Yeah.
It's valid.
She had a case to make against
Paul
him for
can't take her. That's why she should have realized this weeks ago that he was never gonna take you.
Yeah.
Friendship!
Ugh, so the veto ceremony comes. Paul does not use the veto.
Her speech was good, though.
It was
wow.
good. She gave a good speech.
But, oh well, too late.
Yeah.
So sorry, too late. You done ruined your game, girl.
What was interesting, I thought, was that Paul decided to vote for Kevin and split the votes between him and Christmas.
Because he's a coward.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. At this point, I am over this whole I gotta look good.
Right. He already told Alex that he can't take her. Why are you throwing a vote to Kevin and making Josh get the blood on his hands? Like,
I roll city. So here we are, and Josh has to stand up and break a tie and send Alex out.
Right.
But she knew what was coming.
She did. So she leaves the Big Brother house. We don't get to see her goodbye messages live on air because it was an early eviction, but she does eventually get to see goodbye messages from the house guests.
Yes, we did read that. Executive producer Allison Grodna did say that Josh was consistent with revealing what was going on with his final 3 alliance in these goodbye messages. Yeah. And so Alex does have that information going into the jury house.
Yes. So then that takes us to...
This was the early eviction that we watched on Wednesday. So they went into another HOH competition at this point.
Right, which was what the bleep. Josh had to sit out, of course. So it was Christmas, Kevin, and Paul. Paul easily wins it.
Right. So we're at the point now where Paul knows what to win and when to win it.
Yeah.
And so these are the ones he wants to win. So he's going to win.
Yeah.
He wins that HOH. Yep. His plan is to put Josh and Kevin up, which is exactly what he does. And this takes us to the Thursday episode. Which, guess what, guys?
Oh.
I got to go to it live and watch it.
Insider over here.
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. I shot just a little quick thing, so I want to show you guys that right now. Look where I am. That is CBS Radford is what they call it. It's the smaller CBS studio that Big Brother is shot at. That's where the house is, on one of those stages. I can't believe I'm here. I'm stopping out front to talk to you because they're gonna take my cell phone away as soon as I check in, but I'm about to pull in, check in with security, go to the live eviction taping. I can't believe I'm about to like be at the house, sitting at the stage outside of the house, seeing the Chen mod, seeing whoever's being evicted live. I'm so excited. This was the closest I could get, you guys. I wish I could take this in and show you even more, but I will absolutely tell you all about my experience as soon as I get up. Okay.
I have not heard about this experience yet, so right? I'm hearing it for the first time just like all of you.
You go onto the CBS lot, which I had been on to for a couple of other shows, but like, I mean, come on, Big Brother, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So you walk up to the stage, all stages look the same, they're big beige just blocks.
Yeah.
But this one has a high fence off next to it, and you recognize, like I recognize the top of the fence as like the yard. Oh my god. So I was like, oh my god, I'm at the yard.
Now
like,
how,
right
compared to the size of the stage, how high is the fence? Like is it taller than the stage? Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like
the stages are big, so that's a high fence.
Okay, so I walk into the stage and I'm not, I don't know, I'm like caught up in the like audience people are like counting you and they're like telling you where to sit, so I'm like paying attention, and then all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, oh my god, like I forgot where I was.
Right, it's the whole set.
And I was like, oh my god, it's the door. And it's the monitors. And I was like, oh my god.
And you know the house guests are like right inside that door.
Right inside. I got to sit on the front row. They sat me right in the front.
No, you didn't.
I did. I'm looking at this door, and then I realized there's a monitor that like Julie Chen can look at, and it's a camera inside the house. And so all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like watching them primping in the bathroom, like last minute, like
my god.
Kevin's in there doing his toothbrush and his hair, and I was like, oh my god, they're like right there, and I'm like watching.
Yeah.
The warm-up guy comes out and he's like giving us, you know, the spiel and like applause and stuff like that. Now here's a question that everyone on Twitter has asked me about going to the taping is, do they say no booing?
Oh.
That was like the big question that I got. And I have to be honest, they didn't say no booing, but they make it very clear that they're trying not to have you boo. So the warm-up guy was like, someone's gonna be evicted, let's just remember this is a game, let's respect whoever the player is, let's respect the game, and let's give them some love. So like he said it in a positive way, but I was like, oh, that sounds like no booing.
Yeah.
And then later, right before the eviction part, he reminded us again, remember, just be really respectful of whoever comes through that door. And of course, you know, I'm there, I'm jumping ahead, but I'm there for Kevin, so of course everyone's like, ah!
Yeah, right.
You know, of course he was gonna get nothing but love. But it was really, really cool. Julie Chen comes out.
How big is the audience?
83 people.
Oh, is that all?
So tiny.
Oh.
So small.
It looks much bigger on TV.
I was surprised it was that small. She comes out.
Oh god.
She threw a little shade. The warm-up guy was asking us, like, who do you want to win America's Favorite? Who do you want to win the show?
Okay.
First, I have to say, he says, who watches the live feeds? I'm like, raise my hand. One other person raised their hand. I was like, who are these people? And then he's like, who likes Kevin? Who like, you know, whatever. Who likes Paul? The entire audience erupts. Again, I was like, where am I? I was like, you guys like Paul? What show are we watching?
World.
It was. Now I'm confused on like what people actually feel like out in the world.
Yeah.
So when Julie comes out, the warm-up guy's asking her, and the warm-up guy had admitted he was a Cody fan from the beginning. And Julie was like, yeah, but remember, he was a bully. And she like starts throwing shade. She was like, he came out strong as a bully in the beginning. He was mean to Josh, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, it was only after he became the underdog that people started liking him.
True.
Which is so true. Yeah. But I was like, girl, hey. And then he was like, well, who do you think's gonna win, Julie? And she was like, you should just write that check to Paul right now. And we were like, yeah, exactly.
You should.
It was so much fun.
That's so great.
She walks out, she does her lines, and then she walks right back out behind some big like wall.
Oh, really?
And hides. I was like, this is... She's just like in and out, in and out,
She's not hanging out on that stage.
No. That episode was really fun with the jury segments.
Oh my god. The jury segments were the best part of the whole episode.
I want to say I can't believe how crazy some of them are, but I guess I kind of do. Right. Like, Raven has been delusional from the beginning, so we shouldn't be surprised.
And we saw a lot of people come in, right? Didn't it start with Matt?
Yeah.
And he was the first one to come in, and Cody's
Got a lot
like
of catch up to do.
over it with Matt, and Matt like
Hilarious.
plays his segment, and they're all like, so you basically didn't do anything to try to stay in the house. And Cody's like, I'm leaving, and it was the whole thing. And then Raven comes in. Of course, Matt doesn't want to see Raven, but then Raven comes in.
They're all like comparing notes, which is what you would do at this point.
Yeah.
Some of them are realizing. So like Jason realizes, oh, I thought I was in an alliance with Paul, but he was in an alliance with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And like you could see like Alex was starting to realize that. Obviously Mark and Elena, like Cody, they all knew.
They all knew.
But Raven comes in and she's like so excited to tell everybody that she was in an alliance with Paul.
Yeah, right.
And
None
they're
of
all
you
like,
were, but I was.
They're all like, no, we all were. And she was like, no, but we were his real alliance.
Yeah, we were the real one.
And then was it Mark who was like, well then why
what
are you
here? Like Raven, and I just love how Raven was like, I'm the puppet master. We were pulling all the strings, and Mark was like, the confidence that you have in your own game blows my mind. How can you be the puppet master if you didn't win anything?
I think it's slowly sinking in with her.
Yeah.
She really did feel like she'd been doing all of this with Paul. I mean, she said it in her exit interview with Julie. Like, she felt like she had played such a good game.
Yeah.
But then I think it's slowly like, wait, why am I in the jury house?
Yeah.
How did this happen? And then, you know, hopefully more comes out that we didn't see about them saying, no, he had an alliance with Christmas and Josh, and obviously that one won out.
Yeah, right. He had an alliance with Christmas and Josh, he had an alliance with Alex and Jason, he had an alliance with Matt and Raven, and guess which one took him to the final three?
Yeah, sorry, but that's the one he chose.
Yeah. Jason is pretty bitter as far as we can see. He's upset that he was betrayed by Paul. Yeah, totally blindsided. But Alex was not quite as blindsided, but like still sort of like, wait a minute, we had this like final two thing and now you're not taking me home. And she's very much like, it's the game.
But she should be mad.
Yeah.
But she should probably also be mad at herself, not Paul.
Yeah.
You know, why take that out on Paul?
That's the thing about it. You have to be mad at yourself for falling for Paul's trickery.
So let's back up. So
yes.
What we know for Thursday's episode is that Paul is HOH and that he had put Kevin and Josh up on the block.
Yes.
And then we'd already known from the feeds and we see that he wins Veto as well.
Yes.
And of course he will. Again, now he's going to win everything that he needs to win.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to beat him.
Right. So this was one of those memory veto competitions. What day did this event happen on? And I was surprised by Josh. I was surprised how well he did. He knew his stuff. He was right there with Paul. But of course, Paul's going to beat him. But,
yeah, Paul's a little quicker.
He just, I was like, whoa, you've been paying attention. Like,
he has
you
been
are
paying
a fan of this
attention.
show.
And let's not forget, he has watched the show. He is legit a fan, so he knows he has to study these things.
Yeah.
With Paul having complete control, he had already decided he wanted Christmas to take this blood.
Yes, right, of course. Yeah.
And so that she would be the sole person to evict Kevin. That was their plan the whole time. Kevin thought that this was Josh's time to go.
Right.
He had no plan on campaigning or questioning or talking to Christmas because Paul told him he didn't have to.
Yeah, and Paul's word is good.
Right.
You know, Paul's word has got Kevin to the top 4. So why would, you know.
Why would he change his strategy now?
Yeah.
So here we are, they're sitting on the couch and Christmas stands up to say, Kevin, you haven't done anything all season. I'd like you to leave now.
Yeah. And he's like, great, I'm proud of you guys. Have fun. Seriously, be good. Have fun. He's like a dad, you know? Like, that was just Kevin. He was himself until the end. Looked great in the exit interview. Nice suit.
I was so glad he dressed up. He looked adorable. When he came out, the audience was like, ah, Kevin. Of course I was too. I was like, ah. You can't help it. Those doors open and you just like lose your mind. You're like, ah. So he comes out and like Kevin lit up when he saw the audience. I don't know if you could see it on camera, but he was like,
oh my God.
To the audience, which I was just like, oh my gosh, he loves it. And he sits there and he talks to Julie and he's all like, yeah, it's a game. I had nothing in common with these people or whatever.
Right.
So then when the commercial comes and we're done, he stands up to leave and the crowd's like, bye, Kevin. And he's like, thanks, guys.
Oh my God, I love it.
It was adorable. I thought this was interesting. When we went to that commercial break and Kevin's about to be escorted off, somebody, an assistant or somebody, walked over with Julie's phone in their hand and handed it to Julie. Julie takes the selfie and then hands her phone back to that person.
What?
And I was like, why didn't that person just take that photo?
I love it. You gotta get the selfie.
Handed it to her to take the selfie and walked the phone back off.
I love that. Oh my God. Was the taping over after Kevin?
That was basically it. We did not get to see any of the start of the competition.
Okay.
I heard the PAs or whoever talking about that it was an endurance comp, and it turns out it was. They were holding on to a rope for a long time, which we saw in Fridays. We saw just the beginning of it in Friday's episode, since we're not having a Sunday. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't watch the clip part of Friday's episode because I'm kind of over this season.
I know. And
I just fast forwarded to the end to see the HOH comp.
Yeah, it seemed like I read a little bit about it and it seemed like there was a lot of fighting that people were kind of surprised. Like, why didn't this make the show in the first place? Like, this is a lot of drama.
We saw it all in the feeds and I don't need to see it again because this season gave me heart problems.
I know, right?
So we're heading into our 3-part HOH competition.
Yeah.
Spoiler is part 1 went to Paul.
Surprise.
Look, you guys, you cannot be Paul anymore.
No, you can't.
This is it.
You can't.
He only lost competitions, I think, when he wanted to lose them.
When he did it on purpose.
Actually, the only competition he lost on accident was the battle back, getting Cody back in the house.
Yeah, right.
That's the only one he meant
Cody
to win.
was the only person who could beat Paul in a competition.
He's got part 1, which means he advances to part 3 automatically. So Christmas and Josh now play part 2.
And we all know Christmas is in a boot, and even though she's a CrossFitter, come on. There's gotta be some kind of physical element to the second competition.
Right.
There always is. There's also a mental component.
Right, it's gonna be a combo.
Memory thing. But she just moves a lot slower than Josh does.
She moves a lot slower.
And Josh knows his stuff. We all saw it in the veto competition. So he's been studying. He's probably gonna beat her easily.
I would be surprised if Christmas was able to pull out this win.
Yeah.
Josh wants it, so he's not going to give it to her.
And interestingly, Paul wants Josh to win it.
Yeah.
Because Paul thinks he's set if Josh wins. He thinks he's secured his spot in the final 2 if he's up against Josh. Because even if he loses the third part of it, the HOH, to Josh, Josh is definitely going to take Paul with him to the final 2 in Paul's mind.
Paul really feels like he did it right this season. He is not going to make the mistake of taking a Nicole. He did do something right. He made Josh look like the villain or the evil bully or whatever.
He turned him into a monster all season long.
So everyone in the jury does legitimately hate Josh.
Yeah.
And that was great on Paul's part.
So Paul's thinking, no matter what, if I'm in the final 2 against Josh, I'm winning Big Brother. But what he's not taking into account is that if he loses part 3 of this HOH to Josh, he might not be in the final 2.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're an egotistical cult leader. You sometimes miss when your minions start thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
And Paul hasn't put that together. Which is odd because if he took Christmas, I don't see Christmas beating him.
Paul, no.
Yeah. So why wouldn't you take Gimpy Girl who can't win anything?
Yeah.
But anyway, he has chosen Josh. If he wins round 3, which I'm assuming he will, and he takes Josh, Paul wins easily. Paul has this whole season. I don't think the jury's going to be that bitter. He might lose a couple votes.
Sure.
But against Josh, you're gonna win. These people know you played the best game.
Against Josh, I even see Cody voting for Paul.
Yeah. Oh, I do too.
They just have to give it to the person who played the best game. That's how it is. But if Josh wins part 3 of the HOH and pulls a Steve and kicks Paul out of this house,
I will be dancing in the streets.
Oh my God.
I go back and forth because I'm like, Josh, oh my God, Josh could do this.
Yeah.
I don't think he will get the opportunity.
Right. We've gotten our hopes up all season.
But like, if he does have the chance, like he could do this, and Josh is like the lunatic.
Yeah.
He's the unstable, emotionally crazy person, and here he is maybe potentially pulling a Steve.
The biggest move of the season. And then that's really all the argument he needs to say I should win Big Brother because I got Paul out of the house.
Hopefully.
Josh is gonna have to do a lot of smoothing things over with the jury.
His little speech would have to be very convincing to explain, like,
because his game was dirty. He tried to like get under people's skin, start fights. Like that's not winning you any fans.
Paul.
Yeah, right. All for Paul. You did Paul's dirty work.
I'm hoping that if he got Paul out, that would give him the win over Christmas, who also just did Paul's dirty work. Yeah. So they're kind of even. I don't know. And I mean, I honestly don't think we're going to get the opportunity to see it because I think Paul will win what he needs to win. Yep. Again, you guys, if I came in second in whatever last year, if I played it again the next year, I should win. That's for everybody. Yeah. If you come in second one year and the next year you compete, you should win.
You should win.
That's just how it works. Yeah. And I don't mean should as in it's owed to you. I mean, you played the game and you came in second, so you know how to play.
You know how to win now. Learn from your mistakes.
Right.
You only made one mistake, essentially, so don't make the same mistake.
Yeah. So I think that's really on production and on the show, is that if you bring back your second place winner, they're gonna win.
Yeah. So we have a 2-hour show finale on Wednesday, and we'll get to see the second part of the HOH play out, and then we'll get to see the third part live. Then the jury comes back and they'll vote and we will have our winner of BB19.
Yep. I heard Will isn't coming back for a roundtable. Oh. He tweeted that they're going a different direction, so I think it is pretty much confirmed. So I don't know how they're going to manage the jury, but it will be interesting to see what the jury says.
I'm excited for the 2-hour finale.
I know. And
even though I've been so bored with this season, it's just always fun to see it all come to a close and we get a winner.
Well, I haven't been bored with this season. I've been mad at this season. Yeah. I've been angry at this season, so I'm glad it's finally over. Give Paul the stupid check and let's move on, you guys.
You know how my theory was with the Revengers that they were going to compete for a spot in Big Brother? I think it's an All-Stars next summer because in the trailer it said the Revengers summer 2018. So I think there's going to be an All-Stars for BB20.
I mean, I'm fine with an All-Star cast.
And Julie also has acknowledged that she understands that fans are sick of vets coming back and having an advantage over new players. But if you have a season of all vets, I think the playing field is level.
You just have to make it level. All brand new or all vets. Fine. Whatever. I will watch, of course.
Right, yeah.
But, do not just bring back one or two. I can't. All right, guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys hope? Here we are. We're at the end.
And we'll see you next week after the finale.
Okay, bye.